talk about it. Tell me all about it. I'm here. I want to know what's on your mind. Ooh, the world needs to hear from you, and I'm so glad to have a conversation to reach the nation. And it's all about you. We'll help each other to discover innovative ways to positively change the world. Let's talk about, let's talk about, yeah. Let's talk about conversations with Nicole.
Greetings. Welcome to Conversations with Nicole. I am Nicole Everett, your host. And Conversations with Nicole is a talk show based in Tallahassee, Florida, focused on connecting the community through conversations. And today is what I call Wellness Wednesday, which is an opportunity for you, me, and my guests to chat about something interesting and intriguing. And tonight we are talking about how to transform your financial future through fix and flip. And my very special guest is Ms. Robyn Yant, who is a real estate professional here in Tallahassee. I have been admiring Robyn from a distance, but she has also sent me some deals. I've been itching to do a deal with her, but it just hadn't materialized yet. But it's coming. It's coming. It's coming. But before I bring Robyn on, I need to hear from you. Where are you tuning in from? We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on LinkedIn, and your comments and questions are very much so welcome. Again, Wellness Wednesday, we talk about all the dimensions of wellness. And so tonight we're talking about financial wellness, generational wealth wellness. And so, again, your comments, your questions are welcome. Put your city and state in the comments so we can give you a shout out. I see Miss Janita here. Thank you for being here in the Tallahassee area. Trisetta, Orlando in the house. Thank you for being here, Trisetta. So y'all, please like, please share, please tag a friend and let them know they need to be on here. This is going to be a great conversation, Interactive Live, again, we definitely want your comments and your questions tonight. So I am going to go ahead and share Robyn's brief bio, which is Robyn Yant. She is a real estate investor, coach, and believer in bold faith. She teaches people every day how to do their first fix and flip, build passive income with rentals, and generate generational wealth. And her mission is to help you step out of fear, take action, and transform your financial future with real estate. Y'all, help me welcome Miss Robyn Yant. Yay!
Thank you for having me, Nicole. I'm excited to be here today.
My pleasure, my pleasure. So tell the people, who is Robyn Yant? Not what you do, but who are you in your own words, ma'am?
Oh my goodness, you should have prepped me for that question. Hey, I'm just a down to earth, a little bit of ratchet, always growing in Christ. I love my family. So that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
Okay.
Nothing fancy.
Nothing fancy. All right. And birthday coming up. We coming up on which number? Look, which mango season is this?
45.
45. All right. Love it. Well, happy early birthday.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. So I know there'll be others joining me because I've had two people, yes, not one, but two, probably even three, now that I think about it, say, this is right on time, this topic. I really need to hear about this. I'm like, all right, so I need to see y'all in the comments.
Hopefully,
y'all in the comments with these questions, okay? So
yes.
don't play, all right? Because Robyn gonna come with the real, all right? Tracy Golay is here. Thank you for being here. And my FAMU freshman 88 brother, Ishmael Rents, is on here. Talk about a little bit ratchet. Oh my goodness. Ish,
all right, Ish. Now, all right, don't start.
Don't be telling Robyn secrets now.
Oh, that's
Oh
funny.
my goodness. So tell us a little bit, give the folks who may not know who Robyn Yant is, a little bit about your real estate journey.
Okay, absolutely. So, I started in real estate in 2010.
Mhm.
And I started with doing property preservation. And so, for those of you who do not know, property preservation is where we went in and preserved properties for the banks during the foreclosure of the great market crash back in 2008.
Yep.
And so, we contracted with the banks to maintain those properties month after month. We did light renovation, heavy renovation, and so that was my introduction into real estate.
Okay. Nice.
Uh,
And I guess through that you transitioned to doing fix and flip, right?
Absolutely. So, when at that time, I mean, that was an incredible time, like both good and bad, depending on what side of the fence you was on. But,
Right.
during that time, we started negotiating with the banks to buy some of the properties.
Mhm.
And people was coming up to us. We would be the first ones on site where the house had been sitting for years sometimes. And so they would say, how do we buy, how can we buy this property?
Right.
And I would just give them the banking information and let the people go on. And I said, wait a minute, I need to figure out a way that I can start getting in on some of the sales side of this.
Mhm.
And so that transitioned me into becoming a licensed realtor here in Florida.
Mhm.
And where I specialized in helping first time home buyers and first time investors.
Okay.
And then from there, after buying rentals, we negotiated with the bank to buy, I want to say half of a penny on a dollar, not even pennies on a dollar.
Wow. Okay.
Picking up properties, 8,000, 10,000, 11,000 dollars. And then I just got to the point to, instead of having a lot of rentals, I said, hey, I want to make, instead of doing the renovations for the bank, I want to do it, for myself. I
Okay.
want, I want to get me a big check. And
Right.
so that's how I got into the fix and flip arena.
Nice, 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 nice. Okay, well, let's dive on in. So we're talking about transforming your financial future through fix and flip. I will tell you, while I have been very interested in it, it's a little scary to me. And I'm sure you get this all the time
Yes.
the people who you talk to. And let me just say this to the viewers. Robyn she has a fix and flip for newbies Facebook group, and you do lives on Mondays typically, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you just get on there and start talking about fixing and flipping, right?
Anything that has to do with fix and flipping, we talk about. I post stuff in the group. I
Okay.
share resources. We talk about the practical stuff, the
Yes.
stuff that most people are not going to tell you about. They just want to talk about the funding and the credit and the checks, but it ain't that easy, people. So
Uh,
I like to get down to the nitty gritty and talk about some of the other things that happen on a day to day in doing fix and flips.
Okay. All right. So you kind of talked a little bit about how you transition from you know, that aspect of real estate, um, traditional 9 to 5 to fix and flip. For someone who's listening and wants to do their very first fix and flip, what are the first 3 steps that you would recommend?
The first step is just making a decision to do it,
Oh,
right? Nicole already just told y'all that she's been on the fence for years.
I have since before COVID.
So the first thing is mindset. You have to get the mindset that I'm going to do it, right?
Mhm.
And the fears that come up and the doubts and the hesitations, like there's some mitigation for that. But you just have to make the decision that I'm doing this. That's the first thing.
Mhm.
The second thing is, learning as much as you can, but not to the point of analysis paralysis. But you want to learn enough to where when people are saying different terms around you, you have an understanding.
Mhm.
You just want to get some education about it. And then thirdly, I would say learning how to evaluate a deal.
Okay.
Even if you don't have a deal, you need to be practicing. Like just practicing until it becomes a natural thing for you. So those are the three things that I would say for someone that is new, to do so that you can get started.
Okay, so listen, y'all. I got a lot of questions, so I'm telling y'all need to jump on in if y'all got questions tonight. All
Yeah.
right. So I'm gonna stop you at number 3, which is learning how to evaluate a deal. Now that sounds like rocket science to me,
Okay.
because you're looking at what they're asking for, and then how much rehab is gonna have to be done to it. How you gonna get these quotes? What if the rehab is more than what they quoting? It's a lot of moving parts, man.
Yes. Yes. So what was the question? I'm sorry.
How do you learn how to evaluate a deal?
So there's formulas, right?
Okay.
So just like anything, before you knew how to write a check, you had to figure out how to write a check, how to balance a account.
Hmm.
So fix and flip and evaluating deals is no different. It's just something that you're not used to doing. Like I didn't know how to do it before I got started.
Right.
And so there's in this time, in this era of technology, you can chat GPT, you can Google, you can YouTube, there's books out there, there's mentors such as myself, people. And so there's so many things and ways that you can, there's renovation calculators.
Hmm.
But there's a guideline to doing it. So you can just plug in the numbers
Okay.
and that'll get you to where you start to get comfortable with the idea of it.
Okay.
The place where you really start to fine tune it
Mhm.
is either you have a mentor or you're actually doing it yourself.
Okay.
Okay. That's where all of the moving part stuff comes into play. But I would say, just really getting started is just running, like just going by the formula, like 1 + 1 = 2, right?
Okay.
So you just plug in the numbers, purchase price, you know, the renovation cost and ARV, that's the after repair value. So what the property is going to be worth once you sell it.
Right.
And those are, once you learn those three numbers, I'm telling you, it'll just come just like clockwork. It'll become very natural.
Okay. Nice. All right. Trisetta said, "What do you by practicing a deal?" I think we're missing some words. Maybe what do you mean by practicing a deal?
Yes.
Okay.
So I tell, when people come, I do a boot camp for first time flippers.
Hmm.
And in that boot camp, what I teach them is, listen, you can connect with a realtor, have them send you some deals. You can go on Zillow, you Trulia, anywhere where they have a list of properties,
Hmm.
and you just start practicing. You know, one of the things that I do for people is I'll pull a property, and you can do this, people. You can go to Zillow or Trulia, pull the property. They have 30 to 50 photos, right? You can literally walk through those properties, through photos and kind of get an idea of what a house needs. It's not rocket science. If you see old beat down cabinets, red carpets, automatically, hey, I need to update the kitchen. I need to update flooring. If the house looks like it needs to be painted, I need to paint it. I need new appliances. So that is how you start building a renovation budget.
Okay.
And then I also, encourage people to do a Google Drive, which means you can literally put in the address into Google, ride up and down the street. So now you have an idea of the houses in the neighborhood, what the other houses are looking like. You can do your estimates based off of what the exterior looks like, right?
Right.
So these are ways that when I say practice deals, these are practical things that you can like do it like right now tonight. Go pull up a house, look through the photos, write down what needs to be done, same thing on the outside, and now you have renovation numbers. Okay. So you just want to practice that.
Okay. Sounds good. So Janita said, I'm negotiating for my employer. I've been thinking about real estate to use my negotiation skills. Right now it's a wish list item. All right. She said, "How do we avoid scams from folks who are in the business of supposedly teaching others, but it's just to build their bank and the participants are left dry?" Oh, good question.
Yes. So trust but verify. All right.
Trust but
It,
verify.
yeah, anybody can be vetted.
Put that in
Okay.
the comments, please. Put that in the comments. Trust but verify, please. Somebody.
Yes, you want to vet the people that you are, considering maybe, having them teach you or mentor you, right? The second thing is they should be able to produce some receipts as well. All
Mm,
right. So HUD statements. What have you sold? That the first thing you should ask someone is, when is the last time you worked on a property?
mm,
When we got right before we got live, Nicole said, "What, Robyn? What are you working on?" I said, I have 4 renovations going on right now. One new construction broke ground. We have 4 that we just hit the market in the past 2 months. So
yeah.
I am actively doing the thing that I'm telling you that I'm doing. All right. If no one can take you to a house, show you a recent HUD statement that they've sold something in the past 60, 90 days, that should be a red flag. Okay. And
Okay.
in relationships, we might ignore some red flags in relationships, but in this real estate, you better pay attention to every red flag that raises up.
All right.
Everyone.
Yes. Yes, ma'am. So tell me about your first flip that you did.
So my first flip, I was a realtor and I was helping a young lady purchase a house, and it was going to be a renovation. Okay. She was going to do a renovation loan. So I just, want you all to know that for home buyers, you can buy a house and roll in the cost of the renovation. So that's what she was going to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we got into it. We were 2 weeks before closing, and she said, "I think this is just too much for me. I want a turnkey house. I want to walk away."
Oh,
And
wow.
I had worked that deal with her backwards and forwards and met all of the subs, and because I wanted her to know that this was a great deal.
Right.
And I said, "You know what? I'm gonna do this deal myself." So
Wow.
I got online and I start, looking up hard money lenders. I
Uh-huh.
reached out to another person that I knew that had done a couple flips, and she referred me to a hard money lender.
Okay.
I purchased the property, and I'll tell you, um, it it was more than what I thought it was going to be. Okay, but it was really worth it. I thought it was going to be, mostly cosmetic. We knew that it had a few things, major things that needed to be done, and that was accounted for in the budget. But
Okay.
Nicole, when I tell you it had termite damage that we did not know about,
Ooh.
so we had to rebuild an exterior wall. It got a little involved.
I'll bet.
It got a little involved, and then right a month before, we were about 95%. A hurricane came through Tallahassee, and a
Oh, no.
tree fell through half of the house.
What?
I said, "Lord have mercy!" I was crying
I
and
bet.
on, and I remember Micah said at the time, he said, "Well, why are you crying? We got builder's risk policy."
Right.
I was like, "Oh, okay."
And that's just how emotionally you were.
I was so emotional, but I'll tell you, on that flip, we ended up making $72,000.
Oh, wow.
And so after I got that check, I ain't turned back since.
Oh, my goodness. Okay. All
Yeah,
right.
so that would have been a great project for her. And after she actually came and saw the house, and she was like, "I wish I would have did it. She
Yeah.
said she was scared." Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. No, I get it. I get it. I get it. I get it. All right.
absolutely.
Now tell me about a deal that went really bad.
Oh, I could tell you a few, but I'll just tell you.
One, now, just one.
I'll just tell you one. Um,
Okay.
Really bad. Let me think, because I'll tell you.
Really bad, like you lost a lot of money.
Hmm. Okay, so I did a house in 2023,
Okay.
right? And it was a large renovation, and I was used to doing entry level rehabs pretty much, right? The ones that, I buy for 30, 40, 50,000. I put another 40, 50 into it and sell it for, 180. And I'm in and out 3 months.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I said, I'm a big dog. I'm jumping out there. So I jumped into the property cost me 330. It was a $250,000 renovation,
Oh,
and it took me almost a year to finish that renovation.
oh wow.
And it was. So I'll tell you why. I lost money. I still made a profit. I
Okay.
ended up losing about $30,000 to $40,000. I ended up losing about $30,000 to $40,000 of my profit.
Uh-huh.
And the reason why is because I had a hard money loan, and them
Okay.
interest payments were wearing me out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was under budget by about $25,000.
Okay.
Okay. Now, what I didn't account for, and this is something that I want newbies to understand, when you do a luxury renovation, this house was going to be listed for like 850. All
Okay.
right. You cannot just go to Home Depot and Lowe's and pick up closets and tile and vanities. Okay.
What?
No.
Okay.
When people are paying, you know, 400,000 and above, they
Mm,
are looking for a different quality of product.
yeah.
That did not land on me. Okay. No matter of fact,
Good.
I'm fine, Nicole. I was supposed to make $100,000 on that renovation, $150,000. That's what I had anticipated.
Uh-huh.
I only made 80.
Okay.
So it was more than that. Okay.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay.
So I lost a lot of money, but I didn't like lose my shirt. I haven't
Okay.
lost my shirt yet.
Well,
But
good. Hopefully you
I've
won't.
lost a lot of money though.
I
Okay.
got I got you. I got you. I got you. All right. Ms. K Star just joined us. Thank you for being here. All right. So again, questions, y'all. Questions. Keep them coming. So you talk a lot about we talked about replacing this 9 to 5 income with real estate. What does that path actually look like for most people? Because don't most people kind of start like 1 foot in, 1 foot out?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's okay to do that. All
Okay.
right. Um, so what I would say is what's practical is finding out what your goal number is and be realistic. Okay.
Okay.
Most people are not going to make 100 grand in a year.
Okay.
I mean, you're not going to do it. You're not going to do it. All right.
Not out the gate.
Not out the gate. Not that you can't.
Right.
I'm just speaking from experience. Most people won't put the effort to do it.
Hmm.
But if you can say, you know, first of all, you need to understand what your current living expenses are.
Right.
And you need to understand what your goal is. So, do you want to pay off debt? Do you want to make money to travel? Do you want to have an additional 5,000 a month? Do you want to have an additional, $30,000 by the end of the year? That's where you first start.
Okay.
And then you back yourself into it and you say, well, hey, I want to do this. And then I always tell people to add on some dream stuff, right? Say,
Okay.
man, I want to take a trip out of the country every quarter and I need $7,500 to do that.
Okay.
You multiply that 7,500 by those 4 trips, and now you have a realistic number. And you can say, let's just say for easy calculations for me, I need $30,000, Robyn, to do that.
Right.
Okay. Now, how do I get to $30,000? And then that's when the strategy comes into play.
All right.
Now we can talk. Do you buy a rental, and what type of rental? What does that rental need to cash flow you? Does
Mhm.
that lead you into short-term rental? Does it lead you into long-term rental? Does it lead you into a room share? All right. Or do you want to, and what's your capacity with that, right?
Yeah.
Or do you want to just do one fix and flip where you want to net, say, $30,000? So now your goal is, I want to do one fix and flip in 12 months that's going to net me at least $30,000. And now you have your goal.
Okay.
And that's how you can work yourself out of your, work yourself out of your 9 to 5. But you just have to structure that based off of what your income is that you need to bring in, and
Mm.
then add your dream stuff on top of it, your emergency stuff on top of that. And then, yeah, and it's very doable. I did it. It's very doable.
Okay. Very
Yeah.
good. Brother Quasi just joined us out of Atlanta. Thank you for being here. Trisetta said, do you have recommendations for buying for rental properties rather than flipping?
Okay, so Trisetta, are you okay? I don't think I understand the question. A recommendation to buy versus flipping? Is that you think that's what the question is?
Yeah. Uh-huh. So instead of buying to flip, buying to keep for rental.
Okay. Again, your goal.
Mhm.
What's your goal? Your financial goal.
Yeah.
When you do rentals, I tell people when you're starting out as a newbie, the fastest way to get money is you're going to do fix and flip, new
Mhm.
construction, or you're going to wholesale.
Yeah.
Um, if
So,
you are in it, so for income property, so if you're looking for, if your goal is just to have income property because you're not looking for lump sums, but you want some, consistent cash flow month to month, you
mhm.
want some tax benefits where you can reduce your tax liability, then that's when you would buy rentals because you're
Okay.
not getting no tax benefits when you do fix and flips now. So you're going to get lump sums of money, but you're
Mhm.
going to pay capital gains. On the rental side, you're going to get consistent monthly cash flow,
Mhm.
but and you're going to get some reductions on your tax. You're going to get depreciation, maintenance, taxes, insurance. So it's really whatever you got to figure out what your goal is.
Okay. All right. Good question, Trisetta. So I'm gonna pause and see if we can get the viewers involved. Has anybody done a flip? Let us know in the comments. Has anybody done a flip? Let us know. Let us know. My mom just joined us. Thank you for being here. Mom, love you. Thank you. Thank you. Anybody done a flip? Let us know in the comments. Let us know. Let us know. Let us know. While they are letting us know, maybe nobody has, but another question is how do you balance mindset, faith, and business when taking risk in real estate investing?
So faith keeps me grounded.
Okay.
Um, what was the other one?
Business and risk. How do you balance all of that? How do you balance
Um,
faith, mindset, business while taking these risks in real estate investing?
Yeah, so the faith keeps me grounded. The mindset keeps me moving forward because I'm always focused on big picture. I don't get stuck in what can happen right now. I'm more the person of like what could happen. Like not, like, well, what if this happens? Well, what if it does happen?
Uh-huh.
So my mindset is always, progressive
Okay.
and the risk factor, there's system and processes for that. I run my numbers and I do not buy on emotion. I have in the past, but I always tell my newbies that that's the worst thing you can do is
Yeah.
try to make a deal work. Okay. If it don't work, it don't work.
Right.
Um, and so I follow my systems and processes and how I rehab,
Okay.
the materials that I buy, the subs that I use, the way the order of which I do my renovations. And so, that mitigates the risk part of it.
Gotcha. Now, you mentioned subs. Do you have a set of folks that you use consistently, or do you keep like a roster, a rotation that maybe two or three strings deep of electricians or plumbers or roofers or whatever?
Well, I'll tell you that I'm always revising
Okay. And
my
that's real. That's
subcontractors.
that's real.
I
That's
do have a set of people that I work with, that I've been working with year in and year out.
okay.
And that's a good thing to do because you build that rapport and a relationship with people.
Mhm.
And they start to look out for you and they know what your expectations are. And
That what you want though? Isn't that what you want? Some folks that's gonna look out for you, that know how you flow and go, and the same with them, right?
absolutely, absolutely. Yeah. So yeah, I don't have my own. A lot of people ask, do I have to hire my own people? um yeah, you can, right? But if you don't have enough work, especially when you're starting out, you're going to have subcontractors, not
Gotcha.
in-house employees.
Yeah.
So I sub all of my stuff out and it's worked this far. So yeah.
Cool. All right, we are about halfway through our conversation. For those of you who are just tuning in, I'm talking with Robyn Yant, real estate professional here in Tallahassee, and we're talking about how to transform your financial future through fix and flip. She has a fix and flip for newbies Facebook group. Does lives on Mondays, but is always dropping gems on Facebook about fixing and flipping. And so we've talked about like the first three things you need to do before you do the very first step, first flip, fix and flip, that mindset, learning as much as you can, but not to the point of analysis by paralysis, and then learning to evaluate a deal. Like those are the top three things. And then we've, just talked about, um, you know, if you're going to work with somebody as a coach or a mentor, trust but verify, vet your people, have them show receipts. If they hadn't done a deal since 2020, that's a red flag. They probably not up on what's going on here in 2025. So you definitely want to do that. Now, you shared a success story from your journey. Can you talk about someone who has mentored you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
So, I have a couple mentors.
Okay.
So right now I have a mentor, local. He's a general contractor.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's been mentoring me. I actually met him on the house that I was talking about that I jumped out there.
Okay.
And so we've been locked in ever since. But he has helped me tremendously to understand construction, like the actual process of construction.
Okay.
And so that has been very helpful.
Nice.
And I also have a mentorship group that I pay for that I'm in, right?
Okay.
Everyone needs coaching. And, those guys, a lot of them make seven figures a month.
Oh,
Or,
wow.
I mean, like six figures a month. I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
And, just being in the room with them and, being able to ask questions and having those conversations, it just really shows you what's possible because some of the people in the group, Nicole, wait a minute. I'm like, nah, they making six figures in a month and I'm not because I know a little bit more than what they're talking about. So
Okay.
it just shows that you have to be able to get in a room around people doing the thing that you want to do.
Mhm.
And different people will pull you at different levels, right? Some people, I tell people that come and talk to me about a mentorship, like I can't teach you everything, but I can get you to a point. And then
Mhm.
someone else may take your hand and, so be okay with, not wanting one mentor to take you, all the way to glory. It doesn't, this is a journey. So, but my mentors have been great. They are, you know, they hold me to the fire.
Okay.
Okay. And when I'm being emotional or I'm trying to operate in my feelings or I'm not doing the things that I say that I want to do to get to where I'm trying to go,
Mm.
they hold me accountable. So
Well,
yeah,
again, that's what you want, right?
absolutely.
Mhm.
Absolutely.
That's what you want. All right. What are some common mistakes that maybe newbies to fix and flip make outside of maybe emotional deals, doing emotional deals?
Yeah, that's a huge one.
Okay.
Trying to make the numbers work.
Mm-hmm.
So you're not buying your deals correctly. All right. You make your money when you buy the property. You cannot make up for it on the back end. And by that, let me just kind of tell you guys what I mean. So
Okay.
if you overpay for a property, you cannot then say, I'm gonna do cutbacks. I'm gonna just have to cut back, so I can make my numbers work. That
Mm-hmm.
is really not realistic. Once you've overpaid, you've already lost the profit. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So not knowing the numbers is one. Two, um, not hiring the right subs to do the work. Like
Mm.
you're trying to get Uncle Johnny to do some work. You're trying to do DIY. So you're saying, I'm gonna paint, my cousin gonna come in, do the baseboards.
Good.
You say what now?
And Uncle Johnny know what he doing, don't he?
Okay, try Uncle Johnny if you want to. Not too many Uncle Johnny's have worked out. And not because, Nicole, they don't know how to do the work. But
Mm-hmm.
when you're trying to, people operate on their own time, and fix and flip is all about getting in and out. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
The longer you hold a property, the less money you're going to make. So
Mm-hmm.
when you have somebody like Uncle Johnny that he don't take you serious, and he probably don't even take what he do serious, but he might be good at what he do, you want to be in and
And
out.
got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Got it. All right. Patricia Joseph, what platform are we asking the questions? All of the platforms. So what's your question, Miss Pat? Let us know.
Yeah,
Let
because I'm on live on my Facebook and people asking questions over here.
Conversations with Nicole. Conversations with
Conversations with
Nicole. That's the platform. Get on and ask your questions. So,
Y'all
but if you
come
have,
over and ask your
if
questions.
they have some questions over there, let me know. We can ask them. Lisa is on. Thank you for being here. All right. So yeah, no, I think that was good. That, again, not hiring the right subs, uh not working the numbers, or trying to force them, not being able to make the money up on the back end, because it can't happen. All right. Janita, can you speak about the business strategy of those who get property by acquiring property from those who haven't paid property taxes? Would someone who flips acquire property in this manner? Good questions.
Absolutely. So, so you're talking about buying tax deeds, right? When people do not pay their properties, and you can file for a tax foreclosure,
Right.
and get the deed. Now you have to check your state, because all states are different with the redemption period on when that property actually becomes yours. But yes, I have purchased properties on tax deeds and renovated them. Now, the thing that I would tell you about when you purchase properties on tax deeds, you have to have cash. All right.
Mhm.
Because one, you have to have cash to register, to bid. And then you also have to have cash to actually pay whatever the bid is when you win it within like 48 hours.
Mhm.
So you cannot go and be trying to get a hard money loan. You can't be trying to do a personal loan. Like, you don't have 15, 30 days. You have 48, 72 hours max to pay for that property. All right.
Yeah.
So that's one thing. The second thing is, make sure you know what your strategy is on how you're going to renovate the property. Like, where are the funds coming from? So
Mhm.
you have to have cash to purchase it. Then how are you going to do the renovation on that property? And so that's the thing that I know people will do, especially when they're getting started. They have the plan to purchase the property. And then after that, it's like, okay, now what I do?
Mhm.
So just make sure you have a strategy in how you're going to renovate it. Whether you're going to use a hard money lender, just have your money ready to
Yeah.
purchase and to renovate.
Okay. So have cash in hand, right?
Yes, but it is a great way to buy properties. Now, let me say this too, because some people think that you have to immediately start doing fix and flips to make money. You do not.
Mm-hmm.
You can. I had one of my mentees. She purchased the property on tax deed. She paid 13,000,
Okay.
and she was like, "Okay, now where am I get this money from?" Now, I didn't advise her on that, y'all. She went out and did that on her own. So I said, "Well, the thing that you may want to do is just flip that property over and sell it to someone who has the money and the wherewithal to go ahead and do the renovation."
Mm-hmm.
So she actually sold it to someone else for $30,000, and
Mm-hmm.
so she made what, 17,000.
Okay.
So do not get into, when you're coming into real estate, do not think, I got to do this thing, I got to do that thing, I got to make 25, I got to make this.
Yeah.
The name of the game is being able to turn quick profits and to be able to stack up your cash flow. So
Mm-hmm.
then when you get into a renovation, you're not stressed out, because now you have some reserves set aside. If you go over budget, hopefully you don't, but it does happen. You have some money stashed away. All right. So there's so many different ways that you can uh, flip a property. You may not have to do the fixing. Maybe you can just straight out fix it. But tax deeds is a great way to get some very inexpensive properties and make some money.
Okay. Have you utilized that? tactic before?
I have, yeah.
Okay.
So what I did, so you also have something that's called like a soft fix and flip. They call it hotel. So
Hmm.
you can buy a property. Let's say you buy a property for 20,000, and this is something that I did. I purchased a property for $20,000.
Okay.
I went in, I just did some cosmetic stuff, very basic, paint, just kind of lifted it up, and I
Okay.
put it back out on the market for 45,000. I made me a quick 25.
Oh,
Now it was still room in that deal for them to do some work and do some more work and
okay.
then put it back on the market as well. That's why I love real estate, y'all. But I got my money off at top. I didn't even try to get into the renovation. The person who bought it, they ended up keeping it for a little while. Then they did some more work to it. Then they ended up flipping it to a few years later.
Nice.
So there's so many different ways you can get into the game.
All right. Wow. Very, very interesting. So
Hey, Nicole, before you ask me another question, I just want to talk. Can I talk to the lady who said something about negotiating?
yeah. That's the same person, Janita. Yeah,
Okay.
go ahead.
So let me say this to the negotiator. The other thing that I love about real estate is that if you have a certain skill set, you
Uh-huh.
can leverage that skill set. All right.
Okay.
The
So
negotiating skill
talk
set is, say that again, Nicole.
talk about it. Let's talk about how you can
Let's
use
talk
it.
about it. Let's talk about it. So, if you are a great negotiator, there's a place in real estate. If you, let's just say me and you call me and we partnering up, right? If you are a great negotiator, that means you probably would be great on the front line of talking to sellers
Mm-hmm.
to get their properties under contract. You are probably great at negotiating with contractors on, what work is going to be done. So there are so many different ways that you can leverage that skill set of negotiating and monetize it. I
Gotcha.
tell people the same thing with fix and flip. Just learn the skill set, like master the skill set of being a project manager, right? If
Mm.
you're a great negotiator, it's probably a chance that you probably would be a great project manager because that's literally you're doing a lot of negotiating and a lot of people managing and checking details and making sure things have checks and balances. You
Mm-hmm.
never have to purchase the property yourself. You
Right.
in my Monday, I used the example of if you learn the skill set of doing a fix and flip, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you have a great understanding of that. What you then can do is you can reach out to someone that you know, like myself, that does fix and flips and say, "Hey, Robyn, I would love to manage your projects for you."
Mm.
We
Okay.
can negotiate a management fee, all right? And
Mm-hmm.
we can also add incentives on top of that. So if you bring me under budget or you get me done ahead of time, if you make me more money, I am more than happy to
You
incentivize
said
you.
right.
Then that becomes, let's just say that we negotiate that you're going to PM and that's project manage my job for, $5,000,
Mm-hmm.
right? If you did five of those a year, that's
Mm-hmm.
$25,000. All right. So
Yep.
that's $25,000 extra income that's coming in that you have just leveraged a skill set that you have
That's
that you've learned.
that's good. That's good. She said, "Oh wow, this is good." Excuse me. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. All right, Janice. So you got to put those skills to test. I hope she planted some seeds for those negotiator skills that you possess. Oh,
Yes,
that's
absolutely. Acquisitions manager is what, as a great
action.
as a negotiator, you probably would be a great acquisitions manager.
I love that. All right. Writing it down. I got a whole page of notes over here. All right. Sharice just joined us out of Atlanta. Thank you for being here. So, we talked about some of the common mistakes, but maybe things that, newbies to fix and flip might overlook or just don't know that they don't know, you know, anything that they might need to be on the lookout, or are there some because maybe you don't know about a home and um how some of the systems work behind the drywall, or that there could be termites, or
Yeah.
things of that nature. And I know you hire professionals to come in and give an estimates on doing that sort of thing, but is there anything else to help them kind of be on the lookout for these things? Because again, it could be so tricky, because you were in what was your first job? Property preservation. So you got a
Yeah.
different kind of eye than the
Yeah.
rest of us,
Yeah. Yeah. So I would definitely say that one, you want to vet your subs, right?
Okay.
You want to use qualified people,
Hmm.
and that will see you through a project when times get hard.
Okay.
And two, it's just you're not going to know until you know.
That's not helping me, Robin. That's not helping me.
Sorry, it's the truth. Like, it's I learn stuff every day. Like the day I learned about treads, how, the inches that it's supposed to be over the step. And I mean, you know what I mean? Like
So you still learning?
I learn a lesson every day, and some of them are costly.
Yeah.
Okay. But there's no way to know until you actually get in the game. That's like it's with anything, right? It's with anything. If you're playing sports, you're not going to really get good and know what you really need to develop until you get out on the field. And
That's
if you're playing football, if they keep tackling you, maybe you need to start focusing on running to the right and not to the left. I mean, it's just what it is. You have to get in the game,
yeah. You,
okay? And you will start learning. I would tell people be on site. So if you have people that are doing this, ask them, can you just pop up to their job site? You
mm,
don't want nothing. You just want to be in the environment and watch and listen. And then when you do your first projects, you want to be there.
mm-hmm,
Stop trying to hand off all of the responsibilities. You want to walk through as much as you can. If you have rental properties, okay, you want to, I just had one of my tenants call me and say the toilet was leaking.
uh-huh.
So I've lifted the back of the toilet. I don't know what I'm looking at, but the more get into it, then it becomes, it's like, okay, well, that makes sense.
Right.
Then you have YouTube.
You do have YouTube. I was waiting for you to say.
You can YouTube anything.
I was waiting for you to say YouTube University, ma'am.
YouTube University. It would show you how to change a flap, a toilet valve, a toilet seat,
All of that. All of that. It will.
all of that. You got to be inquisitive. That's
You,
one of the characteristics that you need in real estate. You have to be okay with asking questions, not appearing dumb or stupid, because I don't care. I ask questions right now. Sometimes my subs look at me like, for real, Robin? And I'm like, if it don't make sense, just tell me it don't make sense. But I'm gonna ask questions because I want answers.
all right. Yes, I agree with that. Trisetta said book knowledge is different from experiential knowledge.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely.
Definitely. No, I like what you said about, if you know somebody that does fix and flips, shadow them, right? Ask them if you can be on the site so you can, become familiar with the lingo, with the terms, with the properties.
Yeah.
So I think that's a really great idea.
And one other thing, if you all live in a house, right? You know when something at your house just don't look right. Okay. If you sitting on the couch and you're like, man, that baseboard just, why is that like that? All right. I mean, start at your own place. Look at the drywall, look at the ceiling fans, your vents. It's all is you know what you want, you know what it is supposed to look like at the end.
Right.
And it's a lot of common sense. I use a lot of common sense on my job sites. Like, I'm not sure why I feel like this, but something tells me that that's not right. And
Nah,
you'll be amazed at the times when it just wasn't right. I don't know. I didn't know why it wasn't right.
right.
It just didn't look right.
It just didn't look right. Okay. Now I'm trying to get the viewers involved. They said nobody said anything about having done a fix and flip. So how many of you are interested in doing a fix and flip? Let us know. Give us a thumbs up, a heart, a church finger, something in the comments. Let us know if you are looking to interested in doing a fix and flip, say in the next 6 to 12 months, let us know. I will put my church finger up and say I am. So Robyn, if you get a multi investor deal, send it to me.
Absolutely. I
Okay,
certainly
cool.
will. You know I am.
I know you will.
Oh, so Nicole, let me say that. Let me kind of expound on that a little bit as well.
Okay.
Um, there's also a place for people who want to get started in fix and flip where you can become a private money lender.
Mm,
Like some of you have access to funds that you can lend to a fix and flipper yourself. Okay. And this gives you a, let me see, how do I want to say this? This gives you an opportunity to make some money on your money because way more than what the bank is going to pay you for one.
mhm,
And two, now you have the insight of a project because you're involved financially on the project,
mhm,
right? So some of my private money lenders, they have access to all of my, of the files. We have a file and they can go and look at pictures. They'll come to the job site, some of them, and
mhm.
look around and ask questions. So
Yeah.
this is a way that you can double dip, right? So
Mhm,
now you're a lender, but now you have access to someone who's actually doing it that now you can ask some questions.
mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
And that can be your first introduction into doing a fix and flip. So some of you should explore that, avenue of being a private money lender. I've had private money lenders all the way starting at 5,000. Some people just say, hey, I just want to, I'm okay with starting out with $5,000.
Mhm,
Some rehabbers or developers, they may have a minimum of 25, 50, 100. But
mhm.
just consider that because that may be a great way that you can make passive income where you are not the person with the liability of managing the subs, finding the property,
Yeah.
making sure it's stressed when it's not selling in this market and all
Mhm.
of this other stuff, right? Just make sure you have an understanding of what the risks are, how you're going to get your money back, what's the terms and that type of stuff. But that's a great way to get started with fix and flip as well.
Indeed, indeed. All right. Patricia said, I have done a fix and flip with Robyn. All right. And how did it go? Patricia, you ain't that ain't telling us nothing. How did it go?
Tell the folks you made some money.
How did it go, Pat? Let us know. All right. Lisa said this is a great skill to have for retirement. Agreed. And I think my mama raising her hand and she wanna I think that's her saying she wanna do something. So thank you, Mom. All right, we got Michael Cork on the line. Thank you for being here, Cork. And Cork, of course, in his quirky self, wants to know what can $50 get me.
I'm not dealing with court.
Don't, you know, you know.
Get you a hottie toddy.
Exactly. That's it. That's it. All right. She says she's a great mentor. All right. Well, thank you for that, Patricia. All right.
But Patricia, did you make any money though? Is what the people
Right,
want to
she
know.
still ain't telling us nothing.
All right, so I'll tell you about Patricia. Patricia is one of my mentees. She went through my boot camp last year, Patricia, I think.
Okay.
And so we did one deal that we closed, and
Okay.
we have two deals on the market, and we are in two other deals together right now. So
Nice.
she works full time,
Uh-huh.
and she comes to the job site. Now she works because I be working, and she be doing this and that and this and that. But so she hasn't done one on her own yet, and
Okay.
that's okay. Like when I talk about fix and flip, guys, you can partner. It's
Yes.
called collaboration. You can leverage
Yes.
time, talent, and treasure. Those are my three T's. So
Okay.
you may have only one of those T's, which means you need to find somebody with the other two T's. Okay. And
Okay.
um, and so you may have great credit or you may have the down payment to get started on a renovation, but you don't have the time to do it.
Gotcha.
Okay. You guys can structure a deal to where you're going to do 50-50 splits or
Mm,
60-40, 70-30, whatever it is. but just leverage each other.
Okay.
Time, talent, and treasure. Be okay with collaborating. And
Wow.
I tell my mentees that's a great way to get started so
Mhm.
that you can learn beside someone who is doing it. And so usually I'll go into deals with my mentees. I'll do at least one deal with them.
Okay.
And that way, they have to take the lead on managing the subs and building the scope of work, doing the design boards. They manage the budget. They do all of the things, but I'm there with them with the experience.
Wow.
So
That's
they're not hitting that learning curve, so hard, because the value in a mentor is someone telling you turn left, turn right, duck, stand up, sit down,
yes.
what I mean, turn around, jump
Yes.
up and down,
Yes.
you know, whatever that is, because you're going to make some money, and some of that stuff you don't have to learn because your mentor has already learned it.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. All right. Ish said, I would admonish all that desire to enter into this market that they connect with Robyn. She is one of the best. Her open honesty of her highs and lows is refreshing in a sea of fake gurus. Ooh, all right, Ish.
Oh, I
A
like it.
huge endorsement right there.
Yes, I like it. And he is a licensed general contractor in Alachua County, Gainesville, Florida, doing a lot of projects. So um, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, yes, yes. No, that's a huge compliment for sure. Yeah. All right. Well, we have come to the end of our conversation. So I'm going to give you an opportunity to give some closing remarks and tell the people how they can connect with Robyn Yant.
So yes, you can find me at Facebook as Robyn Yant. That's Robyn, ROBYNYANT. And my name is on the screen. So yeah. I have a Facebook group that is Fix and Flip for Newbies, and I go live on Mondays. And after the birthday, we'll be revving up quite a bit in that group with some guests, coming in, lenders, insurance, contractors, all the things. So join the group if you're on Facebook. And I'm also on TikTok and Instagram as I Have Brave Faith. So I look forward to connecting with you all. Follow. I post a lot. So I'm always giving information, showing my projects. And as Mr. Rentz said, I share my highs and lows. So I don't hold anything back. I'm not going to give you any fluff. I'm not going to sell you any dreams. Okay. I'm going to give it to you real. So it is hard, but it is doable. It's not impossible. It is simple, but not easy.
All right. There you have it from the lady's mouth, Miss Robyn Yant. This was great. This was really, really good. I hope you all benefited from this. And if you did, let us know in the comments. Cork, okay, I'm about ready to collab on one. Definitely need the mentor services. Okay, all right.
Come on, Court, bring them big dollars. I have the talent and the time. You just bring the treasure.
Oh, look at it. I love it. She has the talent and the time. You bring the treasure. Love it. All right. Lisa. Yes. Queen Pet, you always have. Thanks for sharing with us. Thank you, Queen Pet. Janita, I'm taking the project management certification by the end of the year. My supervisor literally just asked if I was interested. Baby, let me practice.
Come on. Come on. Yes.
I am Janita
Yes.
Jamal, acquisition manager. Love it.
Yes. That PM gonna make you some money, ma'am.
Love
Yes.
that. Love that. Love that. Yeah. So again, hopefully you all found this to be helpful, beneficial. Let's definitely keep this conversation going. If you know someone that could benefit from this this conversation, please share it with them. Please comment even after the live because I do go back and check out the comments and respond to them. And Robyn is here to help you. So follow her, connect with her. She has testimonials right here, right? On the live, telling you about the things that she has done to assist folks. So definitely if this is an area that you want to go into, definitely connect with her. For those of you who may be new to this platform, I invite you to subscribe to Conversations with Nicole. We are here Mondays and Wednesdays, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, focused primarily on mental health and wellness in Black and Brown communities. And today, with Wellness Wednesday, it's been on financial wellness and transforming your financial future through fix and flip. So, Robyn, thank you so much for this conversation. It was good. You gave us the real, and I love it.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and I enjoyed myself.
Good. My pleasure. All right, good people. Listen, y'all have a great weekend. FAMU first home game this weekend, so be safe out there, and we'll see y'all next week.
All righty.
All right. Bye.